one really quick. Sorry. Physicists claim that their system of careful peer review prevents scientific fraud in physics effectively. Okay, so they say that because of the peer review system, we prevent scientific fraud.
Mhm.
But biologists claimed the same thing for their field 20 years ago, and they turned out to be wrong. So what were the biologists wrong about?
Having a good peer review system.
Or their peer review system prevented fraud effectively, right?
Yeah.
Since then, biologists have greatly enhanced their discipline safeguards against scientific fraud, thus preventing further major incidents. It would be conducive to progress in physics if physicists were to do the same thing. All right, what's our conclusion?
The last sentence.
Yes. And so this is a strengthen question. So what did you predict would strengthen that physicists should do the same thing?
I didn't even predict, but so now I should start doing that. I guess you can predict conducive means like good.
It would be like production.
Like a benefit.
Yeah. It would benefit them to also put these safeguards in place. Why might it benefit physicists to put these safeguards in place?
Because they're also in like the same type of like a science field. Like biology and physicists, they're kind of can like be on the same like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
But why does it like in the same field about like, so maybe if biologists
We also had a problem maybe with their peer review honesty.
maybe or yes, but why does that matter? Like why does the physicist and the biologist, why does it matter if they're in the same field? What has to be true? What has to be similar about them for physicists to need this?
They have to want to have the desire to prevent scientific fraud.
Well, they at least had like what I'm thinking is if one thing that would strengthen this is if one scientific field
As a safeguard, they all should.
has a need for safeguards, they all have a need for safeguards.
Mhm.
That would strengthen it. What did you say for 22?
See.
No system of careful peer review is completely effective in preventing scientific fraud in any scientific discipline. So I would hear this and I would say, well, that doesn't matter because, well, if no system
See, I
can,
got it down to a few, and then I did the contrapositive that all systems of review are completely effective.
so that's where that does not really work here.
You can't really do it on strength and questions.
I mean, like sometimes you can, but this one where we don't need all systems to be essentially the reason that this one's wrong is that if no system is completely effective, then why would you even try to be effective then if nothing's going to work? You know, like why would
Yeah,
you go on a diet if no diets work?
I think I know the answer.
All right, what's the answer?
I think it's D.
20 years ago, the system of peer review in biology was less effective in preventing scientific fraud. Yes.
Because now it's showing that those safeguards actually helped.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's also saying that
If it happened to them,
biology
it can happen to them.
was back then biology wasn't perfect, but back then it not being perfect was better than the physicists. And so if them who was already really good can get better, therefore the physicists too can get better.
Like, yeah, like I was saying, like I see at first I read that as like 20 years biology because I was reading it quickly was better than biology 20 years ago, not physics. But
So
this is also
slowing
saying,
down is probably important with this one.
like D is saying also like 20 years ago, like I also read